Hi guys, it's Meredith. I wanted to go ahead and do a video on my fitness planner and a plan with me that I've gotten a lot of requests for, and it is for the weekly spread in my fitness planner. I just did a video and posted it about the fitness planner I'm using, and I showed kind of my setup. So you can go ahead and click the link to watch that video to get all the information about my fitness planner. But just for kind of a brief overview, I do use a Happy Planner fitness planner, the standalone fitness planner, to track my fitness. And I've gotten a lot of requests to see sort of how I set that up, how I decorate, and all of that. So I wanted to go ahead and do a plan with me in my fitness planner. So this is the weekly spread in the Happy Planner fitness planner. This is the one that I have, which is from last year, which looks a little bit different than the current ones that are available, but this is what it looks like. I have taken mine off the discs and trimmed it and punched it to fit in my Carpe Diem binder, so that's kind of why it looks a little bit like this. And I corner rounded the edges. These pages come undated, which I love, but I have to tweak it a little bit for what I like to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of walk you through what I do each week in my fitness planner. So basically, just like I do in my Erin Condren planner, I kind of lay in a basic framework. You guys know, if you've watched any of my weekly plan with me's in my Erin Condren planner, that a lot of the pre-printed headings, and this year there are no headings, but just the categories I don't use. So just like in that planner, I'm gonna go ahead and customize my basic framework, which for me means all I do is put in some decorative washi at the top. I cover up these sidebars right here. The way this is set up is for tracking food, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. I use my phone to track all of my food in MyFitnessPal, so I don't use this section. So I cover up this sidebar, and this sidebar with washi tape, and write on the headings that I use, which you'll see in a second, but I've changed this. So I use exercise, steps, I track my steps with my Fitbit, calories, and miscellaneous. So this is where I'll put like my vitamins and my weigh-in and all of that. Then this section I changed to be a today I'm feeling, and use this as a journaling section. So I'll set up the heading here, but each day I write something in, and I usually use this space for journaling and mood tracking. I'll usually put some kind of emoji or stamp based on how I'm feeling for the day. And then here I do track my water. So let me go ahead and show you the basic framework that I set up. Oh, I forgot the other thing. I do put in the date. I stamp in the date. This week I will be planning, it goes from Monday, so I'll be planning Monday, September 26th. And since it's the last week of September, I do like to keep my weeks together. So I'll only be going through Friday, September 30th. I won't be doing anything for Saturday and Sunday. And then instead of notes over here, I changed this heading to be reward, and I set up myself a reward for each week if I meet all my weekly goals, which I do put in here. So let me go ahead and just put in my washi tape, set up my sidebar heading, and then we'll come back and talk about filling this in. So let's do the basic framework first. Okay guys, that is most of my basic framework. Like I said, in my fitness planner is just a decorative washi at the top. I cover up these sidebars with the same skinny washi that I use in my Erin Condren planner, and then right on the categories I track with my white gel pen. And I forgot, I do like to put a skinny washi sort of in the middle as this divider point. The last things I'm gonna do to set up the basic framework are I cover up this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because these are different colors. So I like to use the stamp set from Allie Edwards. It's an Allie Edwards set by Technique Tuesday. It's called Days Flare. And I just stamp this onto my regular, label sticker paper that I use when I use my regular planner. I stamp them onto these and punch them out with a 3/4 inch punch and just lay them over the top up here. Since Friday is the 30th of September, I'm gonna go ahead and just black out Saturday and Sunday. I'll only track through Friday this week. So I'll go ahead and do that. I will stamp in the dates, and I will stamp on my reward heading to go here, and that will finish up my basic framework. So let me go ahead and do those next couple steps before we move on to filling in the middle. So I went ahead and laid in the rest of the basic framework, which just meant I went ahead and stamped these dates on sticker paper and punched them out and put them on the header. I blacked out Saturday and Sunday because those are part of October, and I like to keep all of my months together. I stamped the week, September 26th through the 30th, and because I rounded these corners when I put the fitness planner in my binder, it's sometimes when toward the end of the month it gets cut off, but I'm totally okay with that because I really like the rounded corners. And I went ahead and put on my reward title. That's where I write in my weekly reward. So that is my basic framework in my fitness planner. That's how I sort of set it up every week. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is stamp in the functional stamping for this top section, which is my exercise plan for the week. I'm going to go ahead and set up where I write in my steps, go ahead and where I write in my calories, and set up my miscellaneous. So this is where I put my weekly weigh-in and track my vitamins, and then any other extra things, like if I do extra exercise or any extra things, I track it here through the week. So I'm going to set up this top section with my stamps. So let's get that done. Okay guys, so that is my top section filled out with my exercise. I'm doing Les Mills pump right now. So those are my daily workouts that I am supposed to do. Steps, I will write in the steps that I get at the end of each day, tracking on my Fitbit. I'll put the total up here with my colored Papermate Flare pen. And I usually end up circling whatever day I get the most steps. My calorie goal, I will put in the calories consumed and calories burned, and I have a little check mark stamp that I put in if I met my calorie goal, and I have a little X I put in if I went over my calorie goal. And then, like I said, if I do any extra walking or running, I will track that in the top half of this box. I'll log my weight for the week. I check off if I took my vitamins. This section right here, like I said, I will fill in as I go throughout the week as a journaling. I usually put a word, stamp a word at the top that describes my day, and I put an emoji stamp and put a little bit of journaling. And then the last thing I put in is my water tracker stamp. And then I put in my weekly goals and write down my reward. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'll put in my water tracking, write my weekly goals, and stamp in my reward. And then we'll put it all together. So let's do that last part. Okay guys, that is it. This is my weekly spread from Monday, September 26th through Friday, September 30th in my Happy Planner Fitness Planner. I'll go ahead and put this into my Carpe Diem binder so you guys can see what it looks like in there. Let me go ahead and just kind of fill that in for you so you can see how it looks. There it is, you guys. Okay, I went ahead and filled in my exercise steps, calories, and miscellaneous tracking for the week. Like I said, this is my section where I'll do journaling with a word, some word, like a word to describe the day, some written in journaling, and emoji. This is my water tracker. I try and get 8 8-ounce glasses a day and fill those in as I do it, and then I write in at the end of the day, I will write in my water total, how many ounces, my weekly goals, my reward if I meet all 3 of my weekly goals, and that's it. I hope you guys found this helpful. If you have questions, please go ahead and leave me a comment down below. In the description box, as usual, I will put links with resources for everything that I used. But yeah, this is pretty much it. This is a lot of functional stamping in here. I don't do as much decorative sort of stamping as I do in my weekly Erin Condren, but it's fabulous for tracking. I really love these Happy Planner inserts. Thank you guys to everybody that requested this. I'm really excited to show this to you. I've had a lot of requests for this, so I hope it was helpful. I hope you guys have a great last week of September, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much.